I'm Matthew.
My name is Thomas.
I'm Blaine.
Okay, so I'm Dwayne.
My name is Michelle.
My name is Sarah, Julia.
I'm Bandit.
My name is Trenton.
My name is Lita.
Is there anything in the previous generations that you admire and wish was apparent in your generation?
That there was a lot of discipline when it comes to working and hard working, and that and a lot of tradition back in the day too, and based on their culture and Christianity from our family specifically, like they're really taught in that.
I think for me, what stands out from the previous generation is how closely they were bonded together. I actually think that was quite cool. So I wish we had that, with social media and stuff, things to distance us a bit, but it's great what they have.
Thank you. I've always been surrounded by people who have never prejudiced against me or left me out because of any of those issues.
Had there ever been a time where you felt that you were excluded from an activity meeting because of your gender, race, religion?
No. Okay. Not really me personally. I haven't really experienced something.
Okay, like we was here in varsity, and when you're like looking for a place to stay, and then you get those adverts that are like, well, you have to be white to stay my, date, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, So that it wasn't directly at me, but I have experienced such a situation.
Question: if you were president for a month, what policies or changes would you make?
I think I think inequality is massive in our country. There needs to be land redistribution, definitely.
Well, as I try to use our budget more efficiently.
Free education is a necessity, especially at university level, specifically for the poor.
For me, I take out quota and everything based on that.
Yeah, less corruption.
Instantly, quota system.
We base so many things on race and not ability.
Would you say that you've developed an affinity for any local customs, languages, and traditions?
I'd say no.
Xhosa culture is really interesting.
We don't carry strong traditions like we did before. We're very modernized all the time.
There's always something in every culture that intrigues me.
The so-called colored culture, it's unique and hasn't been studied enough. And I feel like we colored people do have a culture.
Isn't coming to easily the Xhosa people and their dedication to their culture.
For example, in the West, it's more focused on individualization and self, achieving on your own. But then in South Africa, it's more focused on families as a whole. So I love that about South African cultures.
I love South Africa because of our cultures. So I always am intrigued by the different cultures.
And what message would you guys like to send out to people who aren't able to afford their studies?
Yeah, I would tell them not to give up hope.
Also look for opportunities constantly.
So don't feel deprived that you can't learn in a classroom like other people who can afford it. And don't limit yourself. Never give up and use every opportunity to learn.
If you feel like you want to really go to university and that's where you want to be, study really hard.
In your opinion, what could be done to address the prejudices and multiple divides that we face as a nation?
Changing our perceptions and they're not being influenced by what our parents say as well. So for example, we that are born in democracy try not to be influenced, and it's really difficult, especially when you're told how to think and you're raised in a certain way.
It's the new generation that will change everything else.
As well, I think in order to deal with inequality and so forth, you need to tackle issues that he mentioned, and one of them was land redistribution, and also trying to get the lower end of the population involved in the economy as well.
To talk about injustices, difference, inequality, and become more closer to sharing other people's values and opinions and holding us together as well.
Do you feel like there are specific standards or expectations that have been put in place in your culture or household that have made things you'd like to do or experiment with taboo?
Sure. Like I can't get tattoos, get my ears pierced. It's like tattoos like Satan is a little evil. To have a body piercing, tattoos, but personally for me it's my choice of freedom of expression to have piercings and tattoos.
Obviously there's limits that they've set, but they've said go enjoy yourself, but just remember you need to have a limit, you need to set a pace for yourself.
I also think in terms, especially in the colored culture, the normal thing is that you get married, you have kids and so forth. So for example, if you choose a different course, maybe you want to study, you want to achieve, you want to excel, and you want to reach the point of self-actualization, and not maybe place emphasis on the family side, because there's a certain expectation by your community. They might see it as like, okay, why don't you have a kid, why are you not married? So I think that's also
why are you not studying teaching and nursing?
Yes, exactly.
My friends really just gave me the freedom of choice for myself to experience new things, as well as, and from all the experiences I've been through, they've allowed me to do that with accepting towards it without anything against instead of having to do something. You've got lots of time to enjoy it. So that's not really too.
I think definitely. I think again, the patriarchal society that we have created, women are meant to be in the kitchen. They're meant to make babies. I think that's changing over time, but it's not changing fast enough. I think women should be seen as equal.
I'd like you to turn to your friend and tell them what you appreciate the most, and also how they've impacted your life.
Michelle's very smart. I enjoy her bubbliness. She's never got something bad to say about someone, and I appreciate that in a person.
I love how outspoken he is. This guy is real when it comes to issues. He does not hold back.
His energy is just positive, always happy,
Sure,
chilled.
man. Yeah, you're the same, dude.
It's just
Like
cheers.
since we connected, I think
The
it's
same
pretty
type of
awesome.
music
We
which brings
just
us
live
to
up,
close and
lighting up
speak
people
about
around
things
us.
that make us happy and smile and just rave a lot.
Yeah.
You're hardworking.
I really like that he's dedicated, committed, always does everything on time, and on top of that, a really good friend as well.
I appreciate your honesty. I really do appreciate that.
What I like about her is her will to get things done. She's always like the front leader who always plans things and then makes sure like it's done on time.
I think you're a very kind person. Always smiling, always happy when we see each other. So yeah, keep on in a joyous spirit.
I like being my own friend because I'm also I'm not friends with them, so it doesn't apply to me.
It's nice to have a friend who you can share movies with.